The Guinness Book of World Records documents the strangest and most amazing feats by humans. People enjoy showcasing their unique abilities by setting new records. Though the book contains many records, the records set by unique human bodies testing their limits never cease to amaze. Join us as we show you the 15 strangest records of the human body. Number 15. The Afro Girl. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have hairs that are taller than a child? Well, even Dugas doesn't have to imagine. She is the proud owner of the world's largest natural afro, officially recognized by Guinness World Records in 2011. Her massive halo of hair measured an incredible 132 centimeters in circumference at that time, making it a sight to behold. But she didn't stop there. She has since broken her own record twice, in 2021 and 2023, with a current circumference of 165 centimeters, making her hair even more impressive and voluminous. Dugas started growing her hair out in 1973 at the age of 12, after becoming influenced by the Black Power movement and embracing her African heritage. As her hair grew longer and wider over the years, Dugas faced discrimination, with many perceiving her natural hairstyle as political or radical during a time when straightened hair was the norm. However, Dugas saw her afro not as a political statement, but as an expression of her cultural identity and individuality. In order to tame her voluminous locks, Dugas relies on leave-in conditioners to keep the tight curls moisturized and uses picks to gently detangle sections of hair. After washing, it can take up to 2 weeks for her hair to fully air dry. Despite the high maintenance required, Dugas takes great pride in her natural hair texture and has never considered cutting it short or chemically straightening it to fit narrow beauty standards.
So I think anyone with naturally curly hair, you can pick it into some sort of fro.
Number 14. Man with the longest fingernails. In 1952, an incident with a strict teacher inspired a young Indian boy named Sridhar Chalal to embark on a unique mission that would define his life. After accidentally breaking the teacher's long fingernail, Sridhar and his friend were harshly punished. When asked why he was so angry, the teacher replied that unless they grew their own long nails, they would never understand the care required not to break them. Rising to this challenge, Sridhar began growing out the fingernails on his left hand. This marked the beginning of an intense 66-year passion that would lead Chalal to ultimately set the Guinness World Record for the longest fingernails on a single hand. Over the decades, Chalal diligently grew his nails, never cutting them even once. His family disapproved and refused to wash his clothes due to the lengthy nails. Finding employment and a wife also proved difficult initially. However, Chalal became a photographer using a customized camera handle and married at the age of 29. Despite the obstacles posed by his ever-lengthening nails, Chalal reveled in the attention they brought him, especially being recognized by Guinness World Records. This had been his ultimate goal. By 2014, his nails reached an astonishing aggregate length of 909 centimeters, with his thumbnail being the longest at 197.8 centimeters. Maintaining nails this long requires great care. Chalal had to sleep very carefully to avoid breaking them, waking every 30 minutes to shift positions. His fragile nails also caused him constant pain. However, there were some perks too. Chalal never had to wait in queues. In July 2018, at age 82, Chalal finally cut off his iconic nails. This historic event was facilitated by Ripley's Believe It or Not, a franchise focused on unusual facts and objects. Ripley's operates a series of museums and attractions around the world that showcase curiosities and record-breaking oddities. They flew Chalal to New York to document the nail-cutting ceremony and display his severed talons in their museums, fulfilling Chalal's wish to have his nails preserved this way. Though saddened, this allowed him to travel more freely and reconnect with loved ones after 66 years of diligent growth. Number 13. The Horned Woman. In 2010, a 101-year-old Chinese woman named Zhang Rui Fang astounded doctors when she developed a large horn-like growth protruding from her forehead resembling that of a goat's. Measuring 6 centimeters in length, the mysterious protrusion started off small but progressively grew longer and more prominent over time as Zhang aged. Doctors who examined Zhang diagnosed her unique forehead horn as a cutaneous horn, composed of compacted keratin, which is the same fibrous structural protein that makes up human hair, nails, and animal hooves and horns. While most cutaneous horns are only a few millimeters long, Zhang's pronounced curved horn was highly unusual due to its size and forward projection from her head. Some medical experts speculate the horn may have developed from actinic keratoses or skin lesions triggered by many decades of sun exposure and Zhang's advanced age. The growths possibly morphed into cutaneous horns due to abnormal cell proliferation. Thankfully, tests showed the horn itself was benign and not cancerous when it first started developing. However, doctors still recommended it be removed surgically since over 50% of cutaneous horns do contain pre-malignant cells that can lead to carcinoma. While her unusual horn was likely the result of cumulative sun damage and abnormal cell proliferation in an elderly woman, its dramatic size, curvature, and resemblance to an animal's horn made Zhang's case highly unique and rare from a medical perspective. After more than a century roaming the earth, it seems not much can faze this unflappable centenarian. Zhang takes all of life's strangeness in stride. Number 12. Bearded Lady. Harnum Kaur of the UK made headlines and broke records as the youngest woman in the world to grow a full beard, according to Guinness World Records. Kaur started sprouting abnormal facial hair at just 11 years old due to a hormonal condition called polycystic ovary syndrome. By the time she turned 16, Kaur had a thick, full beard on her face despite no family history of early-onset excessive hair growth. Initially, Kaur felt depressed and ostracized due to her atypically hairy chin and cheeks. She faced intense bullying at school and felt rejected by her local Sikh community due to her visible difference from other girls and women. However, with time, Kaur found inner strength and learned to embrace her unique appearance, seeing her beard as a gift from God that made her special. Today, Kaur uses her platform to combat bullying, advocate for body positivity, and to challenge rigid gender norms dictating that women must be hairless and feminine. Though she endured cruel taunts in her youth, Kaur now feels confident and proud to show the world that women can rock full facial hair and still feel beautiful in their own skin. According to Guinness officials who measured Kaur's beard on an Italian TV show, her facial hair was recorded as a bushy 20 centimeters long when fully grown out. It started as just a few stray hairs on her face during puberty, but progressed into a thick, dark beard covering her cheeks, chin, and upper lip by her mid-teens. Now in her mid-20s, Kaur continues using her one-of-a-kind look to spread positivity and change outdated stigmas around women with facial hair.
The result of doing my fix was amazing. I had many parents approach me telling me how their children...
Number 11. Rotating feet. In 2017, an extraordinary young man named Maxwell Day gained fame for his record-breaking talent of rotating his feet backward in their sockets further than any other human on Earth. Thanks to his extreme foot flexibility, Day can spin his feet a staggering 157 degrees around, almost making a full 180-degree turn. Day first discovered his odd party trick accidentally as a young child in England. While sitting on the floor lazily with his legs outstretched, he playfully took hold of his feet and spun them around with his hands, realizing they could turn much farther than anyone else's. As generalized hypermobility runs in his family, Day thought nothing unusual of his trick at the time. However, years later, after performing his foot rotations to entertain classmates, Day learned that no one else could rotate their feet even close to as far as him. Shocked to discover his extreme range of motion was not normal, this led Day at age 14 to contact Guinness World Records in hopes of having his rotational range officially measured for their next edition. Sure enough, when assessed by Guinness judges, Day smashed the previous world record of 108 degrees held by a Michigan teenager named Pause Jolin. For Day, contorting his feet to such extremes requires extreme laxity in the joints, tendons, and ligaments of his feet and ankles, allowing them to bend and twist freely in directions most human limbs cannot. Some spectators find Day's backward-bending feet unsettling to witness, while others express amazement at his rubber-like legs that seem to detach at the heels. Either way, Day hopes his unusual anatomical gift will inspire people to take pride in whatever trait makes their own body unique. Number 10. Elephant nose. When it comes to large noses, no one tops the mighty nose of Mehmet Özürek of Turkey. He held the Guinness World Record for the longest nose ever documented. According to official measurements, Özürek's nose reached an astounding 8.8 cm from the bridge to the very tip when fully extended in 2011. He later broke his own record in 2021, with his nose reaching an astonishing 9 centimeters. Özürek's remarkable nose earned him the nickname Elephant Nose, attracting curiosity and attention wherever he went in his hometown of Artvin. However, Ozurek did not regard his enormous nose as embarrassing, but rather saw it as a source of humor and pride. In fact, he believed his extraordinarily long nose even allowed him to have an enhanced sense of smell compared to the average. According to Ozurek, his substantial nose was an inherited family trait, as his father and uncles all had similarly prominent noses. Some doctors speculated that Ozurek's nose may have resulted from rare genetic disorders, which can lengthen facial features over time, like acromegaly. However, Ozurek never underwent official medical testing himself to determine an exact cause. As far as he was concerned, his mega nose was simply part of his unique family lineage, not any kind of medical syndrome requiring treatment. While Ozurek's remarkable nose drew him constant stares and comments from the gawking public, he took this sudden fame and his cartoonish facial features in stride. He loved to smile and joke about his unique feature, even if he needed to buy extra-large handkerchiefs to wipe it. Unfortunately, Ozurek's smile was cut short when he passed away in 2023 at the age of 75 due to a heart attack. Though Ozurek himself is gone, his record-setting nose lives on in history.
Şimdi işte şu adamın burnuna bak, şu adamın haline bak veyahut da...
Number 9. Tallest woman alive. Towering Turkish woman Rumeysa Gelgi stands head and shoulders above the crowd in more ways than one. At an incredible 215 centimeters in height, Gelgi currently holds the Guinness World Record for being the tallest living female on Earth. But Gelgi's height is far from her only claim to fame. She also holds the Guinness World Record for the longest finger on a living female, 11.2 centimeters from base to tip, and longest back on a living female, 59.9 centimeters top to bottom. Her right hand is 24.9 centimeters, and her left hand is 24.2 centimeters, making them the largest hands of a living female. Gelgi's extraordinary body measurements are the result of Weaver syndrome, an extremely rare genetic disorder characterized by accelerated and advanced bone growth. Gelgi was already 187 centimeters tall by the age of 10, causing her to tower over other children her age. Doctors predict she may still have additional growing ahead throughout her 20s before her plates fully fuse and growth concludes. While her runaway childhood growth spurt has resulted in significant mobility challenges and spinal curvature, Gelgi actively advocates for others with rare medical conditions, hoping to educate the broader public and inspire those facing similar struggles. She is currently studying computer programming and software engineering at university and has become a public figure for those overcoming disabilities with grace and good humor.
There is more to me than my height. I'm a 25-year-old woman.
Number 8. The longest dreadlocks lady. Asha Mandela from Florida boasts the Guinness World Record title for the world's longest dreadlocks, with her gravity-defying locks measuring an incredible 595 centimeters from root to tip. Her massive matted ropes of hair cascade from her head like millennia-old twisted vines, tendrils, and tentacles from some mythic creature rising from the sea. Mandela started growing her prodigious dreadlocks over 25 years ago in the late 1980s, after moving across the country from her native Trinidad and Tobago to New York City as a teenager. Her initial motivation was spiritual. Vivid dreams of an ancient oracle figure with snaking dreadlocked hair inspired Asha to embark on her own journey toward manifesting this mystical vision upon her own head. To care for her thousands of dangling hair strands, Mandela relies on her husband Emmanuel Chej, a professional stylist from Kenya, who assists with the maintenance and installation of beads, shells, and ornaments woven decoratively into the locks. Regular cleaning requires industrial pipes to thoroughly rinse, and then special drying can take 2 to 3 full days before the locks are retwisted and styled. The costs in products and time are astronomical, but Mandela happily considers her locks a divine blessing, not a financial burden. Despite their cumbersome weight, Mandela refuses to ever cut or trim her record-setting tresses, regarding them as sacred artifacts, not unlike religious relics or spiritual totems. Through her locks, she connects with ancient ancestry and wants future generations to inherit their protective power.
I actually created a formula like about 15 years ago when I was going through chemo for breast cancer.
Number 7. Widest wingspan. When it comes to incredible limb spans, nothing tops the supersized arms of Egyptian man Mohammed Shahata. Officially verified by Guinness World Records in 2021, Shahata's fingertip-to-fingertip wingspan measures an astounding 250 centimeters, giving him the widest reach ever documented on a living person. Shahada gained his extraordinary wingspan due to an extreme case of gigantism, a disorder characterized by excessive production of growth hormone by the pituitary gland during childhood, leading to dramatically accelerated height and limb growth. This overabundance of human growth hormone throughout puberty stretched Shahada's bones far beyond average length, causing him to tower over his peers and reach 198 centimeters tall before even turning 10 years old. Now in his 20s, Shahada's gigantism has left him standing over 223 centimeters tall, still gradually growing. While his elongated fingers and disproportionately long limbs make ordinary daily tasks challenging due to their sheer scale, Shahada's family provides critical support to enable him to adapt, including his sister, Huda Shahada. Huda holds several records herself, including the widest arm span on a living female at 236 centimeters. Like her brother, Huda's abnormal growth is believed to be caused by a benign pituitary tumor causing excess growth hormone. Specialist doctors work to control the siblings' continued growth through medication, aiming to mitigate further joint damage and improve mobility despite the strain of their massive size. Though not easy, the siblings maintain positive attitudes, appreciative of their medical care and family support. While Shahada's record-setting arm span draws awkward stares, he welcomes opportunities to educate about rare overgrowth conditions. He hopes to increase understanding and acceptance of those who differ from societal norms. Number 6. Man with the longest beard. What would happen if you never trimmed your beard for your entire life? How long could it possibly grow? For Sarwan Singh, a Sikh priest from India, this is not merely a hypothetical question. Singh currently holds the officially recognized Guinness World Record for the longest beard on a living man. When fully extended, his truly amazing facial hair stretches an extraordinary 254 centimeters in length, making him a record breaker and head turner. As a deeply devout practitioner of Sikhism, Singh has never once trimmed, cut, or shaved his beard even slightly, considering his facial hair to be a sacred gift from God, not to be intentionally groomed or reduced in any way. Over the course of many decades, Singh's beard grew steadily longer and longer, eventually passing below his knees in a cascading flow. Singh takes great pride in honoring his faith by maintaining his unshorn hair while diligently keeping the strands tidy through his thorough twice-daily beard grooming rituals. Singh frequently uses his respected platform as a well-known priest within his community to spread messages of positivity, selfless service, and spiritual devotion to others. Despite the wave of global media attention Singh's record-setting beard has brought him over the years, he remains humble through it all, always giving credit to God for this and any other talents or gifts, great and small, natural or otherwise. The key guidelines used for officially measuring and verifying Singh's record are that the hair must be totally natural and that it must be measured while wet, so any natural curls or waves do not affect the full maximum length. Singh's daily maintenance routine to care for his extraordinary beard involves carefully washing, conditioning, oiling, and finally combing through all the strands to keep them neat and tangle-free. Although maintaining such remarkably long facial hair is extremely laborious, Singh says he has never encountered any real difficulties with its practical upkeep and would prefer his beard be even longer than it already is.
7 feet 9 inches. We're going to measure it again to see if we have a new record here, but thank you, Saji, for being with us today.
Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. You know, there are many astounding body records that have gone unpublished by Guinness World Records. Here, we have a photo of a woman with incredibly unique proportions. Unfortunately, the details of this mystery woman are unknown, but that's often the case with unofficial records. After seeing so many incredible individuals pushing the limits of human anatomy, is anything really impossible? What other astounding unpublished body records make you curious? Do you know anyone with strange records? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Number 5, the largest feet. Tanya Herbert has a big problem finding shoes that fit her gigantic feet. The Canadian woman wears a U.S. women's shoe size 18, which is larger than most NBA players. She has the largest feet of a living female, according to Guinness World Records. Her enormous feet are a result of a rare genetic condition that causes excessive growth. Herbert's exceptionally elongated feet are due to gigantism caused by a tumor on her pituitary gland that led to excessive secretion of growth hormones during childhood and adolescence. This hormonal abnormality spurred spurred Herbert to tower over 195 centimeters tall by adulthood. Doctors speculate her condition also lengthened her extremities, including her feet, which measure 33.1 centimeter for the right foot and 32.5 centimeters for the left foot, making them the largest feet on a living female. Understandably, locating fashionable footwear in her size is a major obstacle. Often custom-made shoes are Herbert's only option, though their high costs make such special orders an infrequent luxury. Despite these frustrations, Herbert stays positive and determined to help others facing similar clothing challenges due to their proportions. Though gigantic by average standards, Herbert's symbolic feet exemplify how beauty and self-confidence exist regardless of size. She embraces the old adage that true beauty comes from within, not outward appearance. By publicly sharing her story, Herbert hopes to encourage other women struggling with shoe size or height that exceeds societal norms. True to the record-setting scale of her feet, Tanya Herbert has giant-sized compassion and courage. Each step she takes in her size 18 shoes leaves giant footprints, helping pave the way toward positive change and greater acceptance of all shapes and sizes.
To do a whole video shoot with me and picture shoot with me in order to add into the 2024 book.
Number 4. The shortest living woman. Pint-sized Jyoti. AMG proves dynamite comes in small packages. At just 62.8 centimeters, this tiny Indian woman holds the record for the shortest living female, but her vibrant personality is larger than life. Born in 1993 in Nagpur, Jyoti grew normally until age 5 when her growth halted due to achondroplasia, a form of dwarfism. Doctors said she wouldn't get any taller, but Jyoti didn't let size limit her big dreams. Jyoti first gained fame in 2009 when measured at 61.9 centimeters tall. Though only 15, her bubbly confidence and love of fashion won over fans. Jyoti hoped to become an actress one day. In 2011, when Jyoti turned 18, she officially became the shortest adult woman. Measuring just 62.8 centimeters, she beat the previous record holder by almost 7 centimeters. As a title holder, Jyoti got to travel and meet fellow record breakers like Chandra Bahadur Dangi, the shortest man ever. Fun fact, Jyoti towered over him by 8 whole centimeters. Jyoti Amge also achieved her acting dream by appearing on reality shows such as Big Boss Season 6 and American Horror Story in 2014, where she played the role of Ma Petite, a character based on her own life as the world's smallest living woman. In 2018, Jyoti met Sultan Kosin, the tallest man alive at 251 centimeters. That makes Sultan 4 times taller than Jyoti. Their size difference is so great that even the length of the Sultan's feet is more than Jyoti's height. Number 3. Teen with the longest legs. Leggy Texas teen Masi Curran measures up as record-breaking from head to long-limbed toe. Her legs measure an astounding 135.6 centimeters, which is over 6% of her total height of 2 meters. She broke the Guinness World Record in 2020 when she was 16 years old. Curran's right leg is slightly longer than her left leg, stretching an incredible 135 centimeters, while her left leg extends 134 centimeters. She has always struggled to find jeans or leggings that fit her extraordinarily long limbs, and often has to order custom-made clothes online. Curran inherited her remarkable height from her parents, who are both over 183 centimeters tall. However, she surpassed them both by several inches, making her the tallest person in her family. She also towers over most of her peers and teachers at school, requiring special accommodations such as a larger desk and chair. Despite sometimes getting stuck with the nickname Daddy Longlegs among schoolmates, she does not let her unusual proportions bother her, and instead embraces her unique stature with confidence and pride. She dreams of becoming a professional model and basketball player, and enjoys participating in photo shoots and sports that celebrate diversity in shapes, sizes, and physical attributes. She wants to show the world that being different is not a bad thing, but rather a beautiful and powerful trait that makes them stand out from the crowd. Number 2. Man with the longest hair. When it comes to sheer hair length, no one tops Tran Van Hay, the Vietnamese herbal medicine practitioner renowned for having the world's longest hair. According to official measurements, the jet black length of Hay's tresses reached an astonishing 670 centimeters during his lifetime, heavier than most toddlers when unbound. Hay started growing his hair long after a life-threatening illness at age 25 left him paralyzed and unable to walk for over 3 months. He attributed his miraculous recovery to a traditional healer in his remote village who used indigenous medicines and acupuncture to restore his strength. In gratitude for his second chance at life, Hay vowed never to cut his hair again as a spiritual offering. He kept that solemn promise for over 50 long years until his death in 2010 at the age of 79. While certainly cumbersome and high maintenance, Hay's record-setting locks became a source of pride and identity for him. Villagers regarded the soft-spoken man with awe as his fame spread over the years. Some even believed his extraordinarily long hair possessed healing magic, making pilgrimages to receive curative tonics and salves from the mystical Hay. But Hay remained humble through it all, focused only on helping the poor through traditional medicine. In 2010, Hay's legendary locks made headlines worldwide when officially measured and confirmed as the longest hair ever recorded on a human. But a mere few months after finally gaining this recognition, Hay passed away at age 79, his hair just as long on the fateful day as it was decades earlier. In accordance with Buddhist funeral rites, his hair was solemnly cut and buried with him, its lifelong duty complete. Number 1. Age-defying fashion designer. When it comes to aging gracefully, legendary fashion icon Vera Wang seemingly turns back the hands of time. The New York native was born all the way back in 1949, yet still glows with the gorgeous, youthful-looking skin and energetic spirit of someone decades younger. Now in her mid-70s, Wang's timelessly personal style and vivacious love for life prove that true vibrancy and beauty depend not on the raw number of years lived, but on attitude and self-care. Wang didn't even become an internationally recognized clothing designer until her 40s. She initially had an enormously successful career as a competitive figure skater and a senior fashion editor for Vogue magazine. But Wang fearlessly chased her ultimate dream of fashion design, boldly debuting her first bridal wear collection at age 40 after frustration with the lack of suitably stylish options for her own wedding dresses. Today, over 50 years into her design career, Vera Wang continues influencing global fashion trends with her sophisticated couture aesthetic mixed with modern edginess. She often shares health and beauty tips on Instagram for her millions of followers, motivating people of all ages to stay active and take good care of themselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. Through her evident inner serenity and balance, Wang proves true elegance and beauty have no age limit. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.